Hello and welcome for your weekly tarot reading brought to you by Nicholas, the Hollywood Gypsy. This is for the week of 11/27 through or October 27 through November 2nd of 2014. I'm recording this on Saturday, October 25th, and yesterday was my work's Halloween party, and I decided because it was the Halloween party to use the zombie tarot deck and do readings, just free readings for people on the patio at work, and just for fun of it, just to practice, just to get into something that I'm loving and passionate about and trying to learn and explore and expand on. And I just had so much fun doing those readings for everybody, and it was so interesting using a deck I wasn't used to. So I'm just kind of thinking about how everybody gives away free readings, and it's just so important to keep practicing. This is my little before the reading rant. So basically, I've been really trying to get into my own business of, tarot reading, astrology readings, doing divination, and guiding people with those types of, resources that I have. And everything that I'm divining from the cards is basically telling me that I need to be patient and that I need to keep going, and especially with astrology. I mean, what I'm asking specifically is about how to get breakthrough in astrology and make this my business, and it just keeps telling me to wait a year, give it time, keep learning, keep getting the education. And so I'm trying to heed that advice, and I'm really finding the tarot is something fun and more immediate that I can do. Astrology, when I do an astrology chart, it takes me several hours to complete it. And, it's a natal chart reading. I really go into depth. I really look at the chart. I do things from a logical standpoint and, do my general feeling gut write-up, and then I go and refer to texts and make sure I'm, making these statements right, or does it feel right? And then I do crazy things like put the chart on my bedstand and then, sleep at night and hope that just through insights of that, somehow I'll gain some more insights. I try to do intuitive things like that, really meditate on the chart, and I love it. And I think that I'm good at it, and I know that the readings I've done, I've always gotten great and wonderful feedback, very positive feedback, and people always say how helpful it is. But every time I divine, it keeps saying that I need more education, which I find kind of funny because I'm usually the one who wants to hold off and not do something, and until I have more education, and I usually hold off and don't do things and just procrastinate, and I feel like that's always procrastinating, and then I finally give in and do it after years and years of training. And this is the first time I'm kind of feel like I want to jump in, and it's telling me no, I need education in order for it to work. So in the meantime, I think that doing tarot readings and doing that will be a viable thing I can sell and do and help people with. But I guess my whole point with this is that I have three products on my website for astrology. If you ever want an astrology reading from me, it's $65 for a natal chart reading, which I think is pretty much half the price of what a more seasoned astrologer is. And I think giving it another year, of course I'll still be growing and getting more education after that. I'll never stop learning. I'll never stop growing. You can never exhaust all the avenues there is to learn about astrology, but I think $65 is a fair price for where I'm at now. And then next year I'll probably look at raising it to more of a professional rate, like the 121, 110 range up there. And that'll happen in July. That's what I'm thinking of 2015. So for right now, I have natal chart reading up, which I'm really excited to get my website up and to be doing those things. And I'll put a link to it at the bottom. And the other product I have is we just had that solar eclipse. And from everything I've been reading and exploring on that, the solar eclipse is an energy that lasts for 6 months until the next eclipse. And so I kind of would love to do readings for people on how the solar eclipse personally affecting them. Like, I've compared my own chart and seen how it's affecting me, and what area of life it's really highlighting. And you don't even have to have planets highlighted, what house is coming into focus, and then what about the event chart from where you live when it happened is stimulating you in some way. So you cross compare the two charts and get some more information of how you can align with that Scorpion energy. It's a Scorpion. It was a Scorpion new moon, in the very early degrees of Scorpio. So it's something fresh, something new that you're starting, and something that's very transformational. It was also happening during a Mercury retrograde, so there's going to be mishaps. There's going to be learnings you're going to have to do. So I really would enjoy doing readings like that for people, and that product is up. It's $85 because I have to look at your natal chart and compare it to the event chart in order to get the information for you from that. And then I have a primer, kind of like a computer-generated report. If you have all of this requires that you have your accurate birth time, your accurate birth data. So if you have accurate birth time and data, I have a computer-generated report that's just kind of like an intro to astrology type thing that you can learn more about yourself from the computer's, inputted insights that from an astrologer that it's not going to be as synthesized. It's never going to replace a human astrologer, but for $20 it's a good intro to astrology. So those are the 3 products I have, and I'm really excited to share. And I had a blast doing the Halloween party readings. As I did 19 readings that night in the span of like 2.5 hours. So it was intense for me, and it was fun, and I learned a lot about people. It's so weird, like people who don't even look at you in the eye when you walk down the hallways, and now all of a sudden I know so much about their personal life. And it's the type of connection, me having a Scorpio moon conjunct Uranus, those are the types of connections that I want to make deep, personal, intuitive. I can keep a secret, I can respect confidentiality, absolutely. I love having secrets. I'm very honest. I just, somebody asks me a question, I just say I can't tell. But if my own personal life, I think I'm very honest and upfront about. But that's besides the point. Let's get into the weekly reading. I did want to say that it was really fun doing the tarot readings with the zombie tarot deck. It's very kitschy, very fun, but I won't expose you guys to a Halloween weekly reading this week. It's a little too kitschy probably, and the pictures are kind of funny, but the readings are powerful, and it's a really great deck. I highly recommend it in terms of you can get genuine readings from a zombie tarot deck. It's so strange. Alright, so from Monday, October 27, our card of the day is Understanding, and so the arrow is pointed east, so that means that this is the Page of Water, and this is some emotional understanding, some emotional realization that you're part of the rest of the group come Monday. On Tuesday, from the Zen Osho Tarot deck, this is the Nine of Clouds, so this is the Nine of Air, and as you know, the Nine of Swords in most decks is a sorrowful card like that. Wednesday the 29th is we get the Creator. That's the King of Fire. On Thursday the 30th, October 30th, we get the Burden. What an interesting week. I mean, this is a little bit more of a stressful week. I got a lot of more positive cards the last few weeks, but this week we're really reeling from that solar eclipse and really building up to this Halloween. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, October 31st on Halloween is Existence. That's the one card. That's the Magician in the traditional decks, and as you can see how passive and feminine and sort of lunar the energy is in the Zen Osho Tarot deck. I mean, so much more night scene, so much more passivity. As you can see that completeness, that fullness of one with the universe, that's everything you need just sitting here and observing the awe of the world, as opposed to the Magician going out and forcefully getting what he is trained to do. November 1st on Saturday, oh wow, this is the Five of Water, clinging to the past. And then Sunday, November 2nd. So this is headed west, so this is the Night of Rainbows. And it's the turtle gently going out and going into his destiny on his path. So this week, very, very interesting. So everything is minor arcana except for the one card on Halloween, actually, on Friday, which is the Magician card. And as you know, the Magician card is just being centered in who you are. You know that you have all the resources. And this card itself, it's about just being in awe with the world and interacting, from yourself in the world with that awe, with that joy, realizing that you have everything you need and just enjoying the spectacle of life. So it's just a very positive Friday. So that could be like Halloween, where people watch and enjoy and just have fun in those festivities. To me, I want to be honest. There's three sort of what you would call the negative cards in the deck, and the Nine of Sorrows on Tuesday, which is Tuesday the 28th of October. That's a nightmare. That's the nightmare card where you have to be sad about something and you're going to sleep it off, and the next day it's going to be okay. You're going to kind of have to go through it and deal with the muck and the mire, and you're going to come out the next day having a bigger realization of what's happening, because that's what this card is about. Is this monk was Buddha's cousin or something, and he cried all night, and finally understanding his pain, he woke up the next day enlightened, and he was trying to be enlightened for his whole life, so he finally got that wish. And then so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, which is Jupiter's day. What's going on here is the moon is going to be going into Aquarius at 6:52 a.m. and there's going to be some type of mental burden. There's going to be something that you're mentally blocking you or weighing you down, and so just try to mentally prepare for that. Try to lighten things up. If I was carrying around this extra weight that day, the best thing I could do is maybe allow yourself to get home from work and relax after work, or try not to put yourself into too much active. Try not to be planning too much during this time. Try not to be doing too many things that require a lot of energy, because you're going to be weighed down mentally somehow. And then the advice on Saturday is clinging to the past. It was interesting because I got this in a reading for someone else, and really it's just about having that emotional foresight that you're boxing yourself in, and that's hard to realize sometimes, and that's why the cards help us. Is when I get a card like this in the day, I kind of meditate on what it's trying to tell me. How am I closing off my emotions? How am I over analyzing it? How am I squaring myself off? This person's locked in this ugly box of funny images that don't really have any bearing in reality. All you have to do is take the box off. And it's clinging to the past. So is there something that you're clinging to that day that you can just write on a piece of paper and burn, or something like that? Or it was kind of like that story I heard of Bruce Lee, where if he thought one negative thought, he would write that thought out on a piece of paper in his mind's eye, and then imagine it burning, and he wouldn't allow himself to be drained by the energy. So if you can at all avoid draining your energy and emotions today, that's what's best. If you're getting in that fight, step away, and don't initiate a fight because of something from the past. That's kind of what the warning of that card is. The rest of the days, Monday is sort of like this epiphany that you are connected with the rest. Don't be afraid to join in the reindeer games, as I like to say. On Wednesday, the 29th, this is the power card. It's the King of Fire. So we know how to use our power. We know how to use our energy. Let's use it to create something wonderful on that Wednesday. And then Sunday is all about, it's kind of an up and down week this week. So on Sunday, it's slowing down, and the turtle carries his whole world with him right in his shell. He has everything he needs, and he goes at his pace. Don't try to push anything. Don't try to force anything, and you're going to have some really good luck on Sunday with that. So that is my reading for the week. Thank you so much. I have those 3 new products on my website I'm excited about. I'll link it below. I also have a blog that I wrote about the solar eclipse and what I think it means, and I wrote kind of an introduction of solar eclipses from my perspective, and then I wrote a second follow-up blog of what solar eclipse will mean for somebody living in Los Angeles, or who was in Los Angeles at the time of the eclipse. So if you want to check those out, I will put those links at the bottom. And my name's Nicholas the Hollywood Gypsy. Thank you so much for watching.